Hey, what's going on, guys? Godstatus here. So Stylus put in a new game mode into the test place, which is kind of interesting. So they added gun game, which I don't know if this is actually going to be like a real game mode that they'll add completely into the game, but as of right now, it's just something that's kind of cool. Okay, I thought that was another sniper for some reason, but it's just something that you guys can play around with and test out. So I'll make sure I do put a link to the test place in the description so you guys can try it out yourselves. But this is something that I know has been talked about a lot, but I don't know, a lot of people do like gun game kind of things, but a lot of people don't, you know what I mean? So it's hard to really please the masses in this situation, but I personally kind of would like it. I mean, you think about it, PF has like a voting system. You don't, bro, what is this attachment? I like how, wait, they actually put attachments on the guns and everything? That's awesome. Anyways, PF does have the system where you can just vote guns out, right? You don't have to, or excuse me, not guns, you can vote game modes out. You don't have to play the game modes that they give you, or you're not really like forced into one game mode, you know what I mean? So there is definitely room for this to be implemented, in my opinion. Like, I don't know how they're gonna do it because PF has a ton of guns, right? Like, there's so much that really goes into it, but I personally would really like to see this. This is a game mode that I've always enjoyed on basically any game that I've played, and it always just seems to work out really well, and a lot of people do have fun playing it, except for when you get an SFG, and that's just no fun for anyone. But I like how they actually give you random attachments. I've never seen a game really do that. No, I don't think even Call of Duty's done it. I could be completely wrong, but I don't remember even Call of Duty giving like attachments. Oh my god. But dude, this is honestly, I've wanted this for a long time. Like, I don't really speak publicly about it that much because it really isn't anything super special, right? Like, I understand that it's kind of controversial to an extent. It's not something that everyone's gonna like, but like I said, you don't have to play it all the time. And personally, I'd really like to see this in the game. Like, I love gun game just because it constantly forces you to do like random guns, and you know, especially with the amount of guns that PF has, if they're able to code kind of a randomizer for it, it would be even better. I don't know if they'll be able to. I'm sure they can. I mean, it's their game, they could do a lot with it, but if they're able to code like a randomizer for the gun so that you could always have different guns to play with, different attachments, things like that, I think that would be a huge plus to the game. Personally, like, I think a lot of people would enjoy it. Honestly, it is something that I don't know, I can see why people don't like it, right? Like, a lot of people, they get on, they just want to play with the guns that they want, they just want to do their own thing. That's fine. But if you could mix this into the game, like, all right, if they were to hold a poll for this, I would be so strongly in favor of it. Like, it's not even funny. I would honestly, it's literally, what do I have to do to get it into the game? Because I feel like it's so much fun that you just want it in the game, right? Like, why wouldn't you? I don't see the real reason why. Okay, so game mode wise, it's hard for me to say that, you know, a certain thing doesn't belong in the game, because game modes, like I said, you don't have to play them. They could always be voted, or you can just leave a server. Like, it isn't needed. So things with game modes I'll usually support because it does just bring new content to the game. Just because I'm not gonna like it on some game modes doesn't mean that others won't, and it always allows for improvement in the game. If things go bad and, like, let's say they release a game mode and it is absolutely hated by everyone, then they could always remove it. If they release now, like, map wise, see, even I actually had a conversation with Axis Angle about this, and we talked about how Mirage is, by the outspoken community, hated by a lot of people, but you see it voted on so often, right? Like, there's got to be something right with Mirage that other people just don't feel. Like, there's still such a large community of people that will vote Mirage so often, and so there's a reason why it isn't removed. It's too popular for it to, you know, for it to make sense for them to remove it. Even though the outspoken community doesn't like it, the people who don't really use Discord or Reddit or anything like that, just casual players, are still enjoying it. So if they were able to add this to the game, I would love to see the feedback on it, and I'd love to see feedback from you guys about this, because I try to do read excuse me, I try to do read comments quite a bit, and if they are able to get a super strong positive feedback about this, maybe we could get it implemented. Just be kind of open-minded with it, right? Like, I know I can be closed-minded about things, and I also do speak like crazy opinions at times, but think about it from, you know, a community standpoint. Just because one person may not like it doesn't mean that others won't, and you could always just leave and find a new lobby. Like, you aren't forced to stay there, you aren't forced to do anything, so it works out perfectly. If you really think about it, it's one game mode, and what do we have? Flare Dom, Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, Capture the Flag, and is that all? There's like 4 or 5 game modes, so it's one. You'll probably have like maybe a 20% chance of actually having to play the game, or play the map, excuse me. play the game mode if I could really get my thoughts together. So it's so worth it. Like, you don't have to see it all the time. You aren't forced to play it. It's not shoved down your throat. It's not like, I know, like Strucid. I like Strucid and all, but Strucid has a set rotation of game modes, which I know a lot of people just don't want gun game in there, and gun game got taken out completely for King of the Hill, which I personally don't really agree with, but you know, it must have been such a large uproar about it, and I know they did polls on it, and that's why they did take it out. But if people, like, I think PF can avoid that problem for the most part because of the voting system it has. You aren't forced to play maps or game modes, excuse me, in rotation, so you can always just skate by it. Like, it's never going to be just gun game. You could have gun game and, excuse me, gun game and King of the Hill, gun game and capture the flag, things like that. But I'm not gonna go ahead and drag the video out a ton. I don't care for like the 10-minute thing, but I just want to talk about it, man. If you guys really do support it, maybe they will actually bring it into the game. Who knows? And we could possibly see some new content coming from them. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you please give your opinions about this. I really want to see what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.